It's Beamer's day out this week. Two of Bavaria's finest are put through the ringer, along with breakdown services and really high-end car audio systems. I'm Rashid Raza telling you to buckle up, because I'm driving. Welcome to Motormouth, you lucky people.
Welcome to BMW's 530i, their 3-litre, 240 bhp 6-cylinder answer to Volvo's S80, to the Mercedes E-Class, to the Audi A6, and a host of other cars of a similar level, which means it's a very high level indeed. It's slightly below the 7 Class and the S Class, of course, but let's get to those in a different episode. For now, let's focus on the wonder that is this particular driving machine from Germany. Sieg Heil, and let's say hello to this particular car. It's got everything you might possibly need under this grand computer system called the DSC, or the Dynamic Stability Control. It has several underlings, which are namely the DTC, which is not a good system to call a bus with. However, it is Dynamic Traction Control, which is very useful when you're on a slightly rough surface. Well, snow doesn't apply, of course, here in Delhi, but you do have mud. You do have gravel and slightly soft-shouldered roads, which is where the suspension system firming up to give you a more sporty feel as you blast around these corners without a care in the world. Another little underling of this system is the corner braking control, which means that around the corner, and you press the brake because you suddenly realize you're going a little bit too fast, it distributes the braking force so that you don't go into a flat spin and kill yourself, which would not be fun at all because it would really damage the car. Of course, it's also got ABS, which every car has now, anti-lock braking system, really, which basically means that when you jam the brakes, you don't go into a skid. It starts distributing the power very evenly throughout the wheel surfaces so that you don't, skid, which is not a nice thing to do to your tires. Around corners, this car feels planted. Is a very common cliched word, but I'll use it anyway. It feels planted, right? Because no matter how tight the corner I'm taking, and no matter what speed I'm going at, it just says, all right, fine, one more corner, let's throw it around here, let's throw it around there. I don't hear a whisper from the tires, nothing from the road. I'm just in a little cocoon of German perfection. Very nice of you. So why is the BMW referred to as the ultimate driving machine? Well, mainly because they paid an ad agency a lot of money to come up with that phrase. However, beyond that, it's because Mercedes, for example, focuses all their love and attention on the passengers, in the rear seat, they're the people who paid all the money. BMW assumes that if you've bought their car, it's because you really like driving. You are a driver as such, and you need to have the pleasure of owning this machine all by yourself. So they focus their attention on you, on me in this case, as a driver. No matter how fast I'm going, this car just makes me feel like it was made for that specific purpose. And speaking of going fast and therefore race, neat way of transferring the subject there, RACE is a company that actually stands for Rapid Action in Car Emergencies, and they are a helpline system for people like you who, when you break down, suddenly need to scream, "Mommy!" Now, your mommy can't come and fix the car, but race people will. So we'll go and see what they have to say about their lives. And when we come back, we'll still be playing with the BMW. Off we listen.
रेस रैपिड एक्शन इन कार इमरजेंसी। रेस पियाजे ग्रुप का एक भाग है। रेस मई 2000 में शुरू की गई थी हमारे एमडी मिस्टर राजकुमार जैन के द्वारा, और सक्सेसफुली 8 साल हम इसमें कंप्लीट करने के बाद आज हम 50 नोडल पॉइंट इन दिल्ली एनएनसीआर हमारे लोकेटेड हैं। हमारी फैसिलिटीज मेंबर्स और नॉन मेंबर्स दोनों के लिए उपलब्ध हैं। इसमें थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है, जो कस्टमर हमसे मेंबरशिप लेते हैं वो 399 के चार्जेस पे लेते हैं। नॉन मेंबर की कंडीशन में हम उनको 250 रुपीज चार्ज करते हैं विजिटिंग चार्ज। इन केस ऑफ वो हमारे से मेंबरशिप के लिए इंटरेस्टेड हैं, हम उनसे 399 मेंबरशिप के अलावा 51 रुपीज सर्विस चार्ज भी एक्स्ट्रा चार्ज करते हैं। अगर किसी भी रेस मेंबर या नॉन मेंबर की गाड़ी स्टकअप हो जाता है किसी भी डिफरेंट लोकेशन इन आवर एरियाज इन दिल्ली एंड एनसीआर, वो हमारे नंबर 43676767 पे कॉल करके अपनी रिक्वेस्ट दे सकते हैं। हमारे कस्टमर केयर के पास 8 लाइन्स अवेलेबल हैं, 2 मोबाइल लाइन अवेलेबल हैं। इन नंबर्स पे कॉल करके वो अपनी डिटेल्स, अपना व्हीकल नंबर, अपना मेंबरशिप नंबर, अपनी स्टकअप लोकेशन एंड फॉल्ट ऑफ व्हीकल, ये अपनी कंप्लेंट की डिटेल्स बताकर अपनी लॉन्च करवा सकते हैं कंप्लेंट। कस्टमर केयर एग्जीक्यूटिव ये डिसाइड करता है कि उनकी स्टकअप लोकेशन कौन से जोन में आती है। उस जोन में डिसाइड होने के बाद फिर जो हमारा कंट्रोल रूम ऑपरेटर है वो नियरेस्ट वैन को, जो भी उस स्टकअप लोकेशन की नियरेस्ट वैन होती है, उनको कंप्लेंट असाइन करता है। उनको कंप्लेंट असाइन करने के बाद कंप्लेंट का असाइनिंग टाइम जैसे ही आता है, कस्टमर केयर से कस्टमर को कॉल जाता है कि सर आपकी कंप्लेंट असाइन हो चुकी है और इतने ड्यूरेशन टाइम में आपके पास पहुंचेगी, इस डिफरेंट लोकेशन से आपके पास मैकेनिक आ रहा है। हमारे यहाँ पे टूर फैसिलिटीज भी अवेलेबल हैं। इन केस किसी कस्टमर की गाड़ी टो होने के लिए रिपेयरेबल नहीं हो पाती ऑन द स्पॉट, वो हमें रिक्वेस्ट देके गाड़ी अपनी टो करवा सकते हैं। किसी भी लोकेशन पे पेट्रोल खत्म हो जाता है तो हमें वो कॉल लॉन्च करवाने के बाद हमारी वैन्स में 3 या 4 लीटर के करीब पेट्रोल्स अवेलेबल होते हैं इन केन। कस्टमर वो पे करके एक्चुअल कॉस्ट पर हम कस्टमर्स को देते हैं। वो लेडीज एंड सीनियर सिटीजन के लिए हमारे पास एक्सेस फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल हैं। इन केस कोई भी लेडीज या सीनियर सिटीजन को रश में स्टकअप हो गए हैं, लेट नाइट स्टकअप हो गए हैं, कोई सुनसान एरिया में स्टकअप हो गए हैं, तो वो कॉल लॉन्च करवाते समय अपनी रिक्वेस्ट दे सकते हैं। उनके लिए हम अपनी नियरेस्ट वैन, जो भी हमारे पास बैकअप होता है, हम उसको उनके लिए भेजते हैं।
So what is it that makes this car so very special inside when you're not moving? Well, let's start with the central system over here. I said it earlier, and this steering wheel just forces me to repeat. It's lovely. It's this little 3-spoke with the fat spokes. It's a tiny little wheel, which again gives me that whole sporting feel as opposed to that giant truck steering wheel. So this one's very nice. It keeps reminding me of what car I'm in. It's very nice. The little blue propeller over there, reminding me about BMW's aircraft heritage, and I certainly feel like I'm flying when I'm in it. Let's see what the stalks over here do. This one over here is your basic indicator stalk and flashlight system. It also controls the computer system over here, called the central computer in the dashboard over there. I can scroll through the check and it tells me what the date is, and I go back to telling me what the time and the temperature is outside. The one below that saying BC or board computer, which scrolls me through the different systems. For example, it tells me what is the fuel average I'm getting, which is something we all find so important. Currently it tells me I'm doing 5.7 kilometers a liter, which is not so good really. Actually quite surprising, because the old BMW, especially the 3 Series, are very, very frugal sippers. They easily give you an average of 10 to 12 kilometers per liter. This one also might have something to do with the way I'm driving. Then it goes into a blank mode, and then it comes back to telling me how many kilometers I can go before the car goes ka-dunk, ka-dunk, and runs out of fuel. So that's useful information indeed. Moving on, right here we've got one very interesting little gadget, which is the proximity sensor of the car. In the front and the back, they've got these lovely little proximity sensors which tells you if someone's getting a little too close for comfort in the front or the back. For example, let me show you this. Let me get one of my producers over here, because I think they're very jobless. They've got nothing else to do. Producer Saab, can you come over here, please? Right, let's get him to get close to the car, and we'll see how the car reacts to the presence of evil. I see a little beep happening over there. Can you come to the front, please? And that's it. Come in a little closer. Okay. Now, as he comes closer to me, the car is going to react to, yes, there he is, yep, telling me the presence of evil is close. So, yep, back away, back away, back away. That's it. Yes, you have to explain it to them 2 or 3 times. They're producers, they're not so smart. Okay, now, the same thing happens at the back, but it's getting too tedious a process, and I don't really want them so close. So, thank you very much. Go back to doing nothing at all. Down we come to the main feature of their onboard computer, BMW's onboard computer, called the iDrive, which is this very cool little knob over here, which controls my inherent systems over here telling me I can control music system, I can control the information, I can control all sorts of stuff, and scroll backwards and forwards depending on what I need. And of course the radio is also controlled from this. This iDrive has taken a lot of flack over the years from because BMW made it very, very complicated. In this new Avatar, they have simplified it down to the very basics, so there's no confusion at all. Apart from that, let's look up a bit, and you've got this lovely little sunroof. So we let in the light. And speaking of shedding light, go check out Car IQ, where we catch you unassuming and innocent walking along minding your own business, and we come and ask you questions which you really should know the answer to, but depressingly you don't. So Car IQ, and then come back here.
What is MPFI? No guesses. About motor cars only, I guess. Multi-fuel injection something. Multi-fuel injection, I don't know.
A multi-point fuel injection system. MPFI, right?
It's multi-point fuel injection.
MP?
File.
Metropolitan MPFI?
No idea.
I don't know. MPFI, Micro Petroleum Fuel Injecticide.
Multi-point fuel injection system.
A multi-point fuel injection system?
Yeah, sure, damn sure.
Right, so that then is the BMW 530i. 3 litres, 6 cylinders, 240 bhp, an average of about 5-6 kilometers per litre, which is, well, you know, mediocre. But then if you can afford the car, you can afford the gas, so don't worry about it. What about the outside? Well, Chris Bangle did come up with this wonderful design system called flame surfacing. He is the head of BMW design, and he revolutionized the European car saloon makers' design philosophy, which was, forget about the boxes, let's put a bit more style into it, let's put a few extra lumps and curves where one could easily do without, put the outside package on par with the Japanese design philosophy, which was put everything outside and leave the inside for the schmucks. Okay, so, would you buy this car? Well, if you are a young vice president, say about 30 plus, earn obscene amounts of money, and you want to show the world that not only do you earn obscene amounts of money, you also have the drive and the go-getting thing that got you where you are, well then yes, this is a very good car for you, and it's fast, it's powerful, it's stylish, and nothing says cool as much as a BMW, except maybe a Ferrari, which you can't get yet. So, that's it, this is his car. Is it worth it? Haha, that is always the question. The price for this car, and please hold your breath and sit down while you do it, is about 45 lakhs. And that's ex-showroom. You haven't yet factored in octroi, road tax, VAT and luxury tax and sales tax and air tax and pollution tax, etc., which will easily push it up by another, say, 6 lakhs to a cool 50-51 lakhs by the time you actually get behind the wheel. Is it worth that? If you are an enthusiast, yes. If you're just looking for a badge or a symbol, then no. There are other, bigger cars made by BMW which you might want to consider. For example, the one we're going to be driving next, after this break. Welcome back. I hope you had a nice break. I, as usual, am hard at work. What am I doing now? Well, I've got out of the 5 Series and I've stepped gracefully into a BMW X5. Why is this car different? Well, firstly, it's a lot bigger. It's absolutely huge. It's a 3-liter engine, which is very similar to the 5 Series as well, but this is a diesel. So the levels of torque have increased, but the response to the accelerator is a little, slower. But then that's a saloon. This is an SUV. So how does it feel driving this car? Can I see the road cleanly? Yeah. Do I wish I was a little taller? Yeah. Because that would make it easy for me to see the end of the bonnet, which right now I'm sort of guessing. And right now on empty roads, not a big problem. But in traffic, I do like to see where the car is ending so that I know where the other one is starting. That's okay. I guess all these things are a matter of getting used to driving a vehicle. Other than that, it's very light on its feet, no doubt. You can throw it around. You can drive it sedately just as well. It responds very well to any input. I mean, even though it is a diesel, it's not slow. I mean, you put your foot down, and the camera falls off its bearings. It's fun. So it does actually react, but It's not the 5 Series. It's not even the 6, come to think of it. It's not even the 3. It's an SUV. No point in comparing it to a saloon. It's good enough in itself. It does, however, give you a feeling of power. Yes, power. It does let you know that you are probably the biggest vehicle on the road. Even Innovas are scared of me right now. It's a nice feeling. Scorpios shudder when I go past. This does, of course, come with BMW's standard bouquet of suspension management systems known as the DSC, the Dynamic Stability Control. It has the usual ABS, the DTC, and of course the CBC as well. A lot of initials which basically mean that the computer inside the car works very, very hard to overcome silly mistakes made by you when you're off-road, or when you're going around a corner a little bit faster, or when the road is not quite up to standard. So you're fairly safe in this car. It doesn't have the Cayenne's suspension management system, which raises or lowers the car depending on the terrain you're driving in. But, you know, it's still fairly capable off-road, as we have seen. So, I'm going to keep driving this for a while. You go and check out our next story. When you come back, we'll still be here.
Hi, I'm Gunbir Singh. I represent BBW Distributors. I head the company, and we are representing several car audio brands from across the world for the purpose of delivering high-end car audio in the country. Our products range from subwoofers, amplifiers, speakers, and other car electronics, and these are sourced from USA, Germany, Italy, and other such countries where they are manufactured. What we have here are the Sears Lotus subwoofers, 310 inches. These are high quality subwoofers, high output subwoofers, powered by some Genesis amplifiers from UK. Genesis is one of the best amplifier companies in the world. These are handmade in England. If you see, this is the heart of the system. This powers the subwoofer. This is for the front speakers, this is for the rear speakers. Here is a Honda CR-V, which we have modified, as most Honda CR-V users will see, that this is not the regular dash that they are used to. We've modified this to accept Clarion HXG2 high-end stereo, which is manufactured in Japan and is only for sale sold in Japan. Here is a Honda Civic, which we have installed the Image Dynamics audio system. These are Image Dynamics subwoofers, which are made in the USA. They're called the ID Max. They're some of the most famous subwoofers in the world. As you can see, there are the amplifiers. There's one amplifier for the subwoofers. There's one amplifier for the speakers. The whole system has been custom fitted in this car according to the customer's need. Here is the multimedia system in the Honda Civic. As you can see, we have a multimedia head unit which is touchscreen friendly, and it enables you to change all your settings and all at the tap of a finger. So literally you can keep your mind on the road and not on the stereo. We have the really exotic audio systems from Genesis of UK. We have combined with the Rainbow Audio of Germany. You have a component pair of speakers which cost up to 13 lakhs for a single pair, and build a system around that, and you're looking at about 13 lakhs for the front speakers, another 6 lakhs for the rear speakers. You're looking at about 8 lakhs for the amplification for the speakers. You're looking at another 2 lakhs for the amplification for the subwoofers. You're looking at another 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees for the subwoofers, another lakh of rupees for the wiring and so on, another lakh rupees for installation and custom install. And that about should get you going for exotic audio. When it comes to high-end car audio, the sky is the limit. It really depends on how much you want to spend. At the end of the day, you set a limit and we exceed it.
On the inside, the BMW X5 is truly, you know what, not that different. It's a lot like the 5 Series, which we just saw and enjoyed so much. But let me give you a walkthrough anyway. Little things have changed. For example, the ignition system is now on the left for no discernible reason. Maybe more off-road drivers are left-handed. I don't know. A couple of stalks missing from here, in case you haven't noticed, from the basic instrument cluster. There's no cruise control stalk for one thing. Everything else is centered around this and this, left and right stalk. Everything else is the same. Sunroof is massive indeed, very nice. It's a double sunroof even for people at the back. Speaking of the back, when you've got this much money, this is where you will spend most of your time. And it's a very nice place to hang out. Well, acres of room, which you take for granted, obviously, you're spending lakhs and lakhs and lakhs, and then a few more lakhs. But beyond that, you've got toys. For example, this wonderful little DVD screen. It's connected to the player, which is down here, so it's nice. Your DVD player is individual for you. It's not controlled by your driver. Put it on, and you can currently pick up Doordarshan on the TV, which is nice if you happen to like Doordarshan. Let's put that off very quickly. AC vents, your individual climate control at the back over here. You can set your temperature, ranging from minimum to maximum. And again, AC vents everywhere in this car. You've got a separate bunch over here, here, there again. You've got another set at the back, which we will get to in just a moment, but check this out. The lap of luxury comes with cup holders. How sweet. So lap of luxury and a drink of luxury too. Do not drink and drive, that would be very silly. If you're sitting at the back here, you're not driving. Speaking of back, in the back, which is where all the action happens, because this is, at the end of the day, a sports utility vehicle. So we've had the sports, and let's have a look at the utility. Okay, first off, this is called a parcel tray, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you keep your paperwork, your booklets, the traffic challans that you might have picked up. You can get rid of this by doing this, and then you discover acres of room. You can keep at least 1.5 dead bodies in here, if that's what makes you happy in life. But it goes beyond that. It's not just boot space. Lift up this little latch, and you've got a toolkit, yay, including a little tow hook and a funny plastic nut over there, and a screwdriver, just in case you feel like having a drink. These parcel trays over here, again, useful things if you want to carry a box or bottles or anything else which you feel like doing. You've got extra room in here, in case you need to load in really big things. You don't want to lift it over that very expensive lid, so you put it in here. This, I'm assured, is scratch proof, so should be fun to play with that. Beyond that, you've got a first aid kit over here, and of course the battery in the back over here, which is this whole European fad of keeping the battery in the back for safety reasons. You also have the option of lifting up an extra row of seats, which will, well, these are sort of child seats almost at the back here, which will give you a grand total of 7 seating spaces in this car, which is not bad at all. But beyond that, if you do happen to lift up those extra seats, even your extra free-loading passengers have their own AC vent. How cool is that? Well, it's very cool. It's an air conditioner. It goes with the territory. Okay. A lot of this stuff is a moot point because cars are rated as per passengers they are allowed to carry. This, I suppose, already has a 7-seater rating. However, a lot of people try breaking laws in other subtle ways. Why don't you go and check out Mom? You know what it is. And when you come back, we'll still be playing here. We'll do the whole outside thing.
On Miles of Misdemeanor this week, we examine a strange weather-linked phenomenon. It would seem that as the humidity levels rise, IQs start to fall. Look at this mess. What is it about our citizens of Delhi's streets and stop lines? Take this scene here. The scooters and cyclists and cars in the front of the line could just as easily have been behind it, right? Yeah, right. Then someone might have got ahead of them. And then what would happen to the world and civilization as we know it? Actually, not very much. But that won't stop us. Regardless of the fact that it causes jams and puts us in danger, we have the constitutional rights to be royal idiots. Are you one of these people? Really? Next time you zoom up to a red light or an orange light, think about it. An orange light means start braking, not speed up. Ay, 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 ay. And another little tip for when you're driving down the road. If you happen to see a car with its side view mirrors folded in, be careful. That car is being driven by someone who is an idiot. That's it for Miles of Misdemeanor, or Mom as we fondly call her, this week. I'm depressed enough.
On the outside of this big beast, you'll find a lot of things to appreciate. For example, that lovely crystal indicator system over there, lovely xenon lights with the angels around over there. This is something that BMW is now putting on all their cars. It just looks really nice when you're driving around. Even in bright daylight, you can still see those little beams glowing. The standard kidney grills in front reminding you that no matter how big and chunky it may get, it's still a BMW. And around here, you'll find something else which is very, very unique to BMW. These tires, yeah, I know, they're big. But beyond that, there's something else that is truly special. And that is indicated with this little rectangle over here, which says
Run Flat technology. This is something you find only on BMW tires at the moment in India, and it's something that they're getting a lot of flack for, but yet it's a double-edged sword, really. They're not as comfortable because the sidewall is really, really hard. But on the plus side, the reason why they're so popular and why BMW is endorsing them is because you can drive for 50 kilometers at 50 kilometers per hour on a flat tire. Because the sidewall, again, is so hard that it actually supports the weight of the car. Run Flat technology is probably the way we're going to be going very soon. And BMW, well, it's already there. But then we already knew that they are at least up to the times, if not ahead of it. Right, so that concludes our German week. So, auf Wiedersehen. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to tune in next week when we'll have more wonderful things. Why don't you write in with any questions, comments or suggestions, or if you just want to know what on earth I'm doing with a band-aid on my head, to metronation@ndtv.com, and I may or may not respond. Depends. If I'm driving, then obviously I won't. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you next week. Bye-bye.